Hello. Here we are, trying to get things adjusted. It's always one of those. Bring that down a little bit. Oh, it's one of those Sundays where I've taken a break and then I'm coming back, and getting reacclimated is tricky sometimes. To you, Fighting Max, to continue that. So of course, I'll have to join more streams, and perhaps ask her about your pet pink toe tarantula. Oh, Rosie. Yeah, we have a pretty good. Small zoo of animals. We've 2 rats, which she's named all of them, but Sadie and Mary Beth, and I think she named the rats. We have a snake named Jade. We have 4 dogs. We have a large pit bull terrier mix with a longer snout named Fiona. We have an Italian greyhound named Dobby. We have a golden retriever chihuahua, so the size of a chihuahua, but all of the look of a golden retriever, named Gavin. And then we have a little pug named Biddy. And she's a miniature pug, so she's about the size, she's a little smaller than the chihuahua, and that's as big as she'll get. And then, of course, 4 cats. We have Vlad for Vladislas. We have Willow, Sally, Betty. And then we have birds, we have Dutch, and we have Sam. So, we have a zoo. That's the only one I can remember off the top of my head. No, perfectly fair. It's, I'm struggling to remember the orders of some of the names, so I understand. So, hey Ash, how have you been? I hope you've been doing well. So I want to go ahead and preface really quickly to everybody. I apologize that I've been a little quiet on Discord and stuff this week, for anybody who may have messaged, or any messages that may have gone not immediately attended. This week's been a remarkably busy week for me. The weekend coming from companies out of town, and then going straight into an evaluation week, which was fine. It's just a lot of work. And so basically I'm working at, by the time the sun gets up till well beyond the sun going down, and it's been a little difficult. So I apologize to anybody. How do you take care of all those animals? It has to take up so much for both of your time. It takes up more of hers than it does mine, because I'm at work a lot of the time. A lot of the time I'm at work, so she does most of it. But she seems to be okay. She handles it all very, very gracefully, and then I try to help out when I can. As much as I can, but at the same time, I'm not nearly as much help, so I'm not too good currently in bed. I'm sorry to hear that. Is it just, I'm going to ask this as delicately as I can, and please feel free to answer or not answer at your discretion, or at your leisure, rather. Physical illness, or is it more of something of a malaise? And again, you're welcome not to answer. I'm just curious, want to make sure everything's okay. It's a lot. It's a lot to handle. But anyway, my apologies, just kind of not being immediate on a lot of the responses. I know I had conversations yesterday. I had a phone conversation yesterday, and it just working on stuff, brainstorming, spitballing, whatever you want to call it, until almost 2 a.m. It's like, but it's not bad. It's just busy. 1 second, I'm gonna scoot us over. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I reached too far. Sorry about that. Yeah, physical. I have a really bad infection and put it in the mouth. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oof. They've got you're resting well, and they've hopefully gotten you on something. I don't know the nature of the infection, so I'm not sure if it's antibiotic or if it's antiviral, but hopefully they've given you something to help kind of circumvent it. Yes. Yeah, that's kind of been the nature of things, though, this past week and a half, at the very least. It's been a lot of busy. It's been a lot. It's been very tiring. I'm perfectly well. It's just my apologies for not being more responsive. Hopefully, we will have a modicum of. I think we'll have a modicum of return to form, and that I'll be able to be more responsive. Today's stream, much like the other ones, I'm looking to keep fairly brief, just because there is still so much to be done, and I don't want to shirk any of those responsibilities. But I kind of thought I've been sleeping and currently taking antibiotics, but haven't started to take effect yet. I only started taking fair play. Antibiotics, that's the tricky thing for me too. If I ever have a bacterial issue, I take antibiotics. Usually around here, it's going to be something more along the lines of sinus infection or something. And it's really weird. I had a period in time where I was sick all the time, 10 years ago, 8 years ago. And then now I've gotten to the point where I'm sick very, very, very rarely, if at all. So long as I avoid the things that everybody's aware that I can't, have, I seem not to be sick very often anymore. It's quite nice. But the fact of the matter is that antibiotics, they killed my stomach. They would help whatever I was dealing with otherwise, but my stomach just could not handle them, and it was so sad. How am I enjoying Celeste so far? I like it. I'm enjoying it. Honestly, I think I kind of had an opinion on it the last stream, which I don't know if you were there for that particular opinion, but that I felt like it was pretty raw platforming. There are, as with almost any game, there are little pieces of it that I'm like, I wish this was a little bit more responsive in this way or what. But it's very solidly made as far as platforming goes. It feels very pure platforming. I think the biggest gripe that I have with it is there's such a heavy emphasis on downward drag. And I feel like I'm having, and it's probably not the game's fault, it's probably mine. I feel like I'm having an issue adapting to it. But I'm actually quite enjoying the game. I think it's nice. I had a sore throat about a week ago. All I did was take one NyQuil and I was fine after that. Well, that's good. It's good that it was easily remedied. Yeah. That brings me really though. I was to say that we're in the philosophy, the gallery of thought is what I call this, and a couple of these things had brought it. I don't know if anybody noticed if immediately or not. Mr. Vitti posted, which I was very honored to have, in my time early this morning, so about 7:30 or so, and he was posting a thing on perspective. And I think it was kind of an interesting segue, right? You have sick and you're having to go through the regimen, and then you have sick and then you take one and it works, and just kind of the difference in perspective, perception, and action, and the drastic difference in the result and time frames therein that's just kind of varying, which is kind of what brought this to my thought. But it is that matter of perspective. And Vitti brought up a clip from House for philosophy. Very interesting. And I just responded to it not too terribly long before hopping onto this because I noticed it. Very, very cool. I kind of got asked a question similar to that by one of the people that were coming down to do the evaluation this last week. When we sat at the table, we discussed philosophy, and I kind of had gone through some of my philosophies, and she says, because she has a few fundamental disagreements with some of them, and I can tell, and she's not saying it directly as contest, but she is saying some, well, I think this. Okay, that's fine. She asks me outright, she says, why is it that you seem to espouse philosophies that are older versus the philosophies that are newer? And obviously I realize I get into a basically at square one again. How do you mean? Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I see. I missed another thing. It did a weird thing there. I'm glad that liquid medicine can still be effective because taking pills is still hard for me, even though I did practice with Tic Tacs to get used to it. But once I stopped, I was basically... There we go. Okay, that's the whole of the message. My apologies. Yeah, taking pills can be daunting for a lot of people. I get that. And Siren Ivy is very much the opposite. She does not like the liquid. She would much rather take the pill, because if the liquid doesn't taste good, you just hear, oh, this is the, you just hear her. It's really adorable. I understand it. So we always try to get her the pill version. But yeah, I can. Some people, the inverse is certainly true for some people. Trying to think here. Oh yeah. I was talking about the kind of perspective piece of it, which was that we have different, there's a difference in perspective, which is kind of an ideal illustration there, the difference in perspective between the pills and the liquid. But obviously that her experiences and my experiences didn't align, and because our experiences didn't align, nor would our philosophies most likely. But I said, and this is something I think I really want to put out there, because I had a conversation about this yesterday with another member of the community also, who I think was very much that. I don't really mind if it tastes bad. I just want to help with my sickness. That's fair. I mean, that makes sense. That's a very pragmatic way to look at it. A lot of people can't. There are some people that can't. I'm not going to say a lot of people. There are some people who can't get past the taste. And so they have maybe it's a sensitive gag reflex, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, okay, so I think that might be her case. Is it's like, if it tastes too bad, then she would, she might retch it back up, and so I don't, some people, I think that's the case. Other people, it is obviously just the size of the pill, right? I'm trying to fit this thing around the uvula, and if anything touches the uvula, I'm going to throw it back up also. And then, especially when you're taking something like a naproxen sodium, where you have that heavy concentration of sodium in it, and it burns. If it dissolves too quickly, it burns because it's just literally sodium. There are other elements, obviously, but it's like, okay, so. And that's the little pug that you hear there in the background beeping. That's her little. That's the little noise that she makes. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. But anyway, we were talking about the differences in philosophy. A sensitive palate would make it hard to taste strong and bad tasting medication. Yeah, and I think that's probably what a majority of it is or has become. For me, it makes sense. We were talking about that difference, and the ask was that, why do you espouse the older ones? Why not adopt the newer ones? And of course, I said, well, if a newer philosophy, I come across a newer philosophy, and the newer philosophy has utility, then yeah, of course, I'm going to adopt it. And there was but newer philosophy doesn't have that a lot of times. Newer philosophies usually are predicated on, they're not philosophies, they're predicated on tenets, and tenets without a philosophy, a what and a how without a why, are fairly useless. Or at least they lose utility over time. We have evidence of that in almost all cases. And so it was like, okay. But, why not espouse kind of the ones that make you feel good, like don't say mean things. And, everybody is welcome, everybody belongs. And I said, because I think that to come to the most comfortable conclusion or to shut down deeper, potentially negative conclusions, are perhaps inadvertently anti-intellectual in nature. I said, for example, if I go through and I start telling you that I think, and I'm not saying that I'm not glorifying myself here in any case, certainly. But if I go through and I start to think about something and I start to speak on what I'm thinking, and you say it's not that deep, I'm not usually going to think that I've thought too deeply, because I don't think that there is much that can be thought on too deeply. Perhaps I am then going to think that people are thinking too shallowly. It doesn't mean that I need to think and understand all the way down to the most granular before I act on something, but it means that even in my free time, even perhaps after I've acted, to continue to think and to continue to think deeply is worthwhile. That I need to continue that chain of thought, so to speak. And I said, I think a lot of people are happy to say, well, no, I'm valid, I belong, and that was kind of one of the things. Oh, they say you belong. Why do I belong? I belong because I'm following rules that you, or providing results that you consider acceptable. When I stop doing that, I won't belong anymore. And there goes the pug. When I do that, I'm following the rules and I'm providing results. When I fail to do that, then you're not going to think I belong anymore, or you're going to believe that I belong somewhere else. So there has to be a philosophy behind it, right? The only pet I have is one cat. We've always owned cats in pairs, but the other one of the pair passed about 1 to 2 years ago. Oh, I'm sorry. We've had, in terms of the animal thing, we have had so many animals in just the past several years. And what happens with us on the animals is we have them cremated, and then their ashes, their remains, put into little wooden boxes that usually have their names carved and on it. And then so my wife had a cat for like 15, 16, 17 years, something like that. And it was a long time. And she passed 2 years ago. And we've got the box with her name on it. And then my wife has a vial that she wears around her neck, very beautiful, ornate, hefty vial. And the remains of some of the remains of that kitty goes with her, because she loves her so much. And it was just, she wanted to take her everywhere with her. So I have the remains of my favorite cats here, actually, in this room with me. Who I had for a relatively brief amount of time. It was just he was just too little, and he just didn't survive some of the. He got sick, and his little self wasn't strong enough to sustain the illness, even with the medicine. So I put him. He used to be my shoulder cat. I would come in home from work, and I would pat my chest twice, and he would jump up on my shoulder, and he would just stay perched on my shoulder. I have a cat that does that now. I've trained her to do that, but it was just instinctual for him. And so I've put him on a shelf that's about shoulder height when I'm sitting down here, so that he can still kind of stay on my shoulder. We very much enjoy animals. We very much do. We did that too, and we also have a little soap thing where the cat puts their paw print along with their name. Yeah, we don't have a soap dish that does that. We do have their paw imprints, certainly, but we don't have a soap dish or anything like that for it. It's just the imprints, which are on there, or on the side of their boxes. But we have several of those. Like I say, just a few. We have several of those boxes. We have Fuzzy and Wuzzy, who were two cats. Then we have Buffy, who was one. And then we have two of our dogs, Dachshunds, which were... one was Foster and the other one was Maul. And we have their little boxes also. Just very sweet. There's the story of Foster and Maul, too. Maul was my favorite. He was just this really intelligent, just loving puppy. And my wife had to go to California for a couple of weeks. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. She was gone for a minute. Maybe that wasn't that long. I think it was a week and a half, maybe. Seemed like forever. She had to go to California to help out with some stuff, and so she was there. And during the time Maul got sick, And I tried to help him, and he just couldn't sustain himself. He came back. She came back. We took him in, got him medicine. Nothing happened. Nothing got better, and then he just passed. Foster, who was older than him, Foster, who was older than him, had realizing he had lost his brother, and they were both 15, so they were there. And but Foster, realizing that he had lost his brother, says, I'm good to go now too. Big Brother's already watched out over Little Brother for the entirety of Little Brother's life. Now Big Brother can rest too. And so Big Brother passed, I think, 3 days later. He wasn't even sick. He was just ready. He had looked over his little brother for the whole of his life, and he said, okay, my job is done. And he chose to die. Again, literally 2-3 days later. We asked the vet, we took him into the vet when he started not feeling well, and we said, what's going on? And the vet said, he's not sick, he's just ready to die, and he's able to do it. And, okay. So we were there with him, or I didn't get to be there with him. I was working. I was on a phone call basically at the same time. I was working, just trying to navigate that. My wife she's a sweetheart, but she's such a strong individual to be able to handle and to have handled all of these as well as she has. But she just has the biggest heart. She just does. Which I think is admirable. It was quite strange how our last one passed, though. He had a seizure, even though he had never shown any signs of one before, and I guess one was enough to do him in. It was very unfortunate, but we've moved on from it now. It's definitely good to move on from the initial mourning, obviously, but it's one of those sad things where it is losing a member of the family. It's not less. Honestly, it's not less impactful for us than it is to lose an actual human family member. I know there are a lot of people that have that kind of, dogs are, it's a dog, it's going to die. And yeah, of course, they age more rapidly than we do. They also experience life more slowly than we do. There's a balancing factor. But at the same time, it isn't less impactful when we lose an animal. And I'm using that term not derogatorily. I'm using that term just to kind of differentiate. But it is really. You lose the best qualities when you lose a pet. In my experience, you lose the best qualities of the friends that you make as humans. Humans, you sometimes, I'm frustrated, I don't like the way they said this, they like this, they believe this, I'm just going to have to. With animals, it's a little different. I mean, they're almost everything that we should be more of. Ridiculously loyal, infinitely forgiving. And again, I'm someone who advocates for circumstance, obviously, and I've talked about that philosophically, but just to talk about these things that can have utility, that society accepts, that are easy, and that usually do not have a ton of negative utility. Right? I mean, obviously, I could say infinitely forgiving and then say, well, if you're human and you're infinitely forgiving, then you're no longer discerning. And if you're infinitely forgiving and no longer discerning, then you are, you put yourself at risk for being abused or damaged or taken advantage of, right? But in a lot of regards, animals represent a lot of the things, dogs, cats, etc., represent a lot of the things that we should represent as our species, and we tend not to, or we tend to diminish them by operating, again, arbitrarily egoistically. So I was quite worried that our other cat would follow suit because they're about the same age, but so far she's been healthy and doing well. It's funny how cats are versus dogs. Dogs have this. I'm going to adjust my seating real quick, and then I'll finish this point. There we are. It's funny how dogs are versus cats, how different they are. I'm a cat. Cats are my preference to dogs. mostly because of the autonomy that a cat has versus the autonomy that a dog has. Both of them are remarkably smart. Cats seem to be, I think, individually intelligent, whereas dogs have a tendency to kind of have this group series of intelligences that you're almost going to have included by its very virtue of them being the dog. And but it's a dog has this bond, and it's part of our dogs that had passed. Is like a dog has this bond. It's like, this is my little brother, and they take on that responsibility of being the big brother for a while. And then they say, well, when little brother passes, my job's done, and they pass because just complete loyalty. That's the reason that he lived as long as he did, is because he chose to wait until he was older by. And you could tell, like, he looked physically quite a lot older than the other one, but he was like, no, I've got to hang on until little brother's done. And then when little brother was done out of circumstance, then big brother says, I'm okay. And it was this loyalty. Whereas, and perhaps I'm imparting some of that, but that's what it very much seemed like, almost straightforwardly. With cats, it's not quite that way. It's kind of like, I care about these, but my mourning process is different. It's dogs, it's almost like I can't get over it. And cats are very much like we are, where it's like, we have to keep doing what we're doing. So, but I'm glad that she's healthy and doing well still. Again, we've got 4, and I don't think they're going anywhere for quite a long time. But Sally's a little old, but I don't think the other ones are going anywhere for a long time. They're not old at all. They are, I think, Willow's the next oldest, and she's like 5 or 6. No, she's probably 6. And cats live to be pretty old too. They can live to be 20 years old. They live a little bit longer than dogs on average, or at least ours always have. So they can live to be pretty close to 20 years old, fairly average. And then we have Vlad and we have Betty, and those two are like 1 and 2 or 1 and 3, something like that. They're not old at all. We're gonna have cats for a minute. And then our dogs, again, all of our dogs are, I think Dobby and Gavin are the oldest, and they're 7. I think both of them are 7. One of them coming up on 8. And then the other 2 are like, one of them's like 8 months, and the other one is like 3, I think. So it's like, yeah. My cat's about 10 years old. Yeah, they make good friends for a long time, for certain. Cats are really, if you have a good cat that's well trained, and they're communicative in the way that they can be, they're fun, but they'll be with you for a long time, a lot of times. She might be younger, that's fine. That's even better if she's younger by a few years, because it means you'll have her for longer, provided that you enjoy her. That's kind of where we like with Willow. Like, Willow's my favorite of them all right now. She's just so affectionate. Every time I get up in the morning, I go to get a cup of coffee, and she comes over, jumps up onto the refrigerator, looks straight at me, and she has this very delicate, I can't even begin to emulate appropriately. I've tried, but I'm not going to try right now. I don't have the throat for it, but it's the most delicate little meow ever. It's just this very delicate, very effeminate kind of meow, and it's so sweet. And then she'll reach her hand out, and she won't, without claws, she'll reach over and she'll grab your face and be like, pay attention to me, will you? And then she'll reach down and she'll give you what we call a kiss on the nose. Basically, she'll bump her nose gently against yours so that she can let you know. And then when I go to sit down on our couch in the living room, she'll run in and she'll jump onto my lap almost immediately. I mean, she's tenacious. Like, I might not want her there, and I might put her somewhere else, and she'll come back in like 5-10 minutes, be like, is it time now? So she's incredibly loyal, very intelligent, and very affectionate. I love it. I think it's really sweet. She is a sweetheart, so. And I think my wife is much more partial to the dogs. I think she's much more partial to Biddy and Dobby and Gavin and all of them, which is understandable too. But I know they can be a lot. They can be much for her. So I was like, yeah. I enjoy her company very much, though she is vocal and kind of waits for you to give her love. Yeah, it's funny how individual a cat will be, how individualistic that they can be, rather, I should say. Because we have Sally, and Sally's the oldest one. She's Siamese, beautiful blue eyes. She's not a thin Siamese traditionally. She's got this beautiful kind of gray spotted, almost like snow leopard-esque fur. And then she's beautiful blue eyes, and she's very sweet. She does not like you to come too close with any part of you except for your hand. So if you come down to, kind of nuzzle her with your face, she does not like that. She's very much, don't do that, don't touch me in that way. You can pet me with your hands. I don't want nuzzles and kisses and things that you might elsewise do. And then you have Vlad, and Vlad is very different. Vlad, ironically, is one of the sweetest, most affectionate cats. He just wants love. You walk by him, he's not very vocal. He does not meow hardly ever. I think in the entire time we've had him, he's meowed maybe 5 times. And that's been, years at this point. But he will absolutely come up, rub up against you, like pet me, do whatever, way you want to show me affection, show me affection. Just the sweetest. It's like a little dog waiting for just pets and pickup, and he's just very sweet. Then you have Willow, which I've already described, and she's very affectionate, but she's more bonded almost with me. She'll jump up to my wife. My wife will be like, "Oh, aren't you sweet?" And then she'll be like, she'll come over to me. She'll have used my wife as a bridge to get to me, and my wife will be like, "Well, it was fun while it lasted, And then you've got Betty, and Betty's just a little troublemaker. She's tiny. I mean, she was an underdeveloped cat that survived, thankfully, but she's not more than. She's not long. She's not, with the exception to maybe her tail. She's not much longer than I think her body without her tail, she's probably 3/4 of a ruler's length. Very, very tiny. And she's the troublemaker. Very spastic motions and actions just out of nowhere, but very sweet. So it's just very individual, whereas all the dogs are, there's some individualisms. There are some individualisms that they display, but it's generally kind of the same. Well, loyal, pet my head, jealous, want food, that kind of thing. They do have varying levels of sweetness, and so Fiona, the big one, she's the sweetest by far. She wouldn't hurt a fly. She's done things that prove that she could, and then she won't actually, like she's put her entire mouth around the head of the little pug and been like, and has been like, if I wanted to, I could, but she never does. She never would bite down. She's more inclined to be scared than she is to be angry of you. That's if she knows you. Now, bearing in mind, if you're someone she doesn't know, she will absolutely bark and let you know you are not welcome, and she's very good in that way. But if you're someone she knows, she'll kind of, no, it's okay. My cat will generally tolerate any kind of petting. She likes belly rubs, and I like to rub my face on her sometimes. Oh yeah, there's always the nuzzling aspect, right? It's kind of a mirror aspect when you think, because so I'm sure you already know this, but cats have scent glands and kind of what we would assume to be their cheeks, what we would call their cheeks. And they do that. They rub that to get their scent on you, and to get that kind of whatever that is, and then you have likewise. It's almost this kind of you can see they take this kind of affectionate nuzzling, and so it's almost like being human. That's not how we communicate, but we understand that that's how they communicate, and so we almost, it's just comfortable. There's a new word. As a matter of fact, there was a new word that was added to the. I can't remember if it was the Merriam-Webster dictionary or if it was the New English Oxford dictionary, but which I think originates from. I believe it originated from somewhere in Asia. But it's good because we don't have. So let me back up a little bit. One of the things I was also talking with, someone who I work with who is quite a wise individual. We were talking about the concept of other languages having words that encapsulate an entire concept, and I promise this ties in. We were using the example of Schadenfreude, which is the closest word that we have for it in English is sadism, but it isn't the same thing. Schadenfreude covers something so much more so much more completely and so much more deeply than sadism does. And so now we're starting to add, English is this word that kind of starts to add I think he calls it the kleptomaniac language, which is brilliant because it's exactly what it is. But it's also a good thing that we are something of a kleptomaniac language, because it means that we're going to become more and more and more, or have the ability to be more and more and more articulate, even as native speakers become less so. So we added this word, I think, that is pronounced giggle. So I believe it's spelled Gigil. No, Gigel. I think, I can't remember exactly, but I think phonetically it's giggle. Ghee phonetic Gill. Giggle. Kind of like giggle, but with the long sound. And giggle is the experience of overwhelming cuteness. It is and it goes even deeper than that. The definition, I believe, as I understand it, again, it's a new word for everyone that didn't speak this particular language natively. Now it's added to the English. It is the concept of the cuteness, that a level of cuteness that causes people to grit their teeth and, clench their fists and, want to do something. It's funny because the reason we do that, or a lot of people do that, I don't know if I don't operate the same, but I've seen this happen, and perhaps I've been guilty of doing it for something that wasn't cuteness, maybe, so I'm not judging, but it's overwhelming cuteness. And the problem with overwhelming cuteness, you see the cartoon of the little girl that's always hugging and stroking and petting the cat all the way until the cat's suffocating, but it's like a compulsion. So she's, the thing is that we don't have a shut-off switch for that, and it wasn't something that we were kind of made to understand very well. We have these kinds of shut-offs. Our brain has these kinds of shut-offs where it's like, this is the maximum of that effort, and the desired result is a part of that. Cuteness isn't one of them. It's kind of this base reaction that we don't have a logical conclusion for. So for example, if you're hunting, and you let the adrenaline overtake you, then the death of the hunted is the desired result. So that's going to go to its logical conclusion, and then nothing more can be done. That is the satisfaction of the case. Your adrenaline is going to lower itself because the satisfaction of the kill has happened. You're now going to take it back and cook it. But when it comes, happiness is the same thing. So you get this kind of resolved elation. But cuteness apparently is something altogether different. Same kind of targets and triggers, but you cannot. You can't. There's no solve. There's no top resolution. I mean, you just want to, bear into something. It seems to hurt inside, I think. So the word now is giggle. It encompasses that entire concept I've just mentioned. The cuteness, but also the cuteness not having its resolution and being overwhelming and causing the physical, the gritting of teeth, and that giggle word encapsulates that whole concept. I like that we are beginning to incorporate words into the English language that are entire topics. We would do this better if we, I think this was originally, maybe it was Singapore, but I think it may have been Singapore, but I think it was something that was generally kind of farther east than we, and we adopted it, giggle. I thought, well, this is really good. And we would do well to do a lot of that with German too, because German does it pretty masterfully. Apologize for the plosives there. I took a moment to turn my head reflexively, and I just spoke into my mic technique was bad there for a second, so I apologize. But we would do well to borrow a lot of our words from German. We already borrow a lot of them. Again, we do borrow Schadenfreude, but I think we would do well to borrow a lot of words from German, specifically the ones that have whole concepts enveloped in it, and certainly continue to in some of these Eastern languages and perhaps some of the Latin languages. I think it's really nice. I think we also took like 12 or 15 words from South African dialect. A lot of it was slang. That's fine. I'm not partial to slang as much personally. I never really have been. I don't like it myself. It doesn't roll off of my tongue well, nor does it hit my ear pleasantly. I like to speak in a way that I think qualifies itself, and I hope conveys a sense of eloquence, and that my words are decently well thought out, and that my speech is decently well coordinated with the way that my thoughts operate. But again, if somebody does have slang, I'm not doesn't upset me. It's just not something I enjoy. But we did add, I think, like 12 or 15 words from the South African dictionary. I think 7 of them were slang, and then the rest of them were concept-based words that were intended to encapsulate concept, which I think is great. So I really like that. I really like that we're starting to kind of adopt a lot of these words into our language that have, a single word, even a single multisyllabic word, something that's 8, 9, 10, 11 syllables even, but is a whole concept. Instead of having to give you a paragraph and a half of definition, I can give you an 11-syllable word. I like that. All right, I'm going to go and prep for my stream. See you later. Have a good stream, and I hope you have fun with Celeste. Likewise, Fighting Max. I hope you have. And anybody who wants to check him out, I did get your. I have to double check and make sure that your link is permanently added, but I do have your link added. I did add your link, so I do heavily recommend taking a look at Fighting Max. Going and taking a look at his channel and watching him play Phoenix Wright and participating a part of that. It is awesome. Likewise, the links down below are people that I recommend. So Fighting Max, obviously among them, my beautiful wife, the Siren Ivy, who does her streams multiple times throughout the week, who's actually been playing several really great games like Inzoi, which just came out, as well as Ash, his new channel, which we are looking to... Of course, yeah. I told you I would. I just apologized that it didn't stick the last time, so I'm so sorry. But yeah. Ash and the new channel there, just to kind of start getting things situated, but it should be his new channel, and the stuff that might be coming, hopefully, is hopefully you'll give it a view and keep apprised of what is what the goings on are whenever things come out. Then of course Omega Ace Gaming, who's playing through. He just finished James Bond. What was the one that he was playing last night? Mega Man. Is it Rockman and Bass? I think, or it was. I can't. I have to go back and take a look. Just a warning. This will be a collab. So it could get more vulgar than... Oh, yeah, so I'll go ahead and give that. It looks like Fighting Max is going to be a collaborative effort, so any person, disclaimer as he was providing just there, but I'll do it vocally so everybody hears it. If you do happen to go to watch the stream, be it now or be it later for posterity in the video on demand, just bear in mind that it is made for a more mature audience. If things such as language or some more adult concepts, jokes, humors, etc. are offensive to you, or you worry that they may be offensive to you, just exercise appropriate adult caution, but otherwise I'd recommend giving him a check out and see what you think. I'm thinking you're gonna have a fun time. Yeah, Omega Ace Gaming for certain, and then of course Thumb Bros. Thumb, of course, just did a challenge, which I think was a remarkable challenge. I talked with him for a little while on it, and it was awesome. Where basically he was given a week to learn a game, and he learned Sunset Riders by Konami. For anybody who's unfamiliar. Very, very difficult game, very, very underrated Konami game, and he just made quick work of it. Having only a week to learn it, he made very quick work, very impressed. He was like, I think he came in just over like 33 minutes, which is really impressive for just a week's worth of work. So I heavily recommend checking those out. I think he's more on Twitch than he is on YouTube, but I've put both links down there just in case, because I do know he does a lot of transmitting over to YouTube for video on demand purposes. Very, very, very cool. All right, I think we're going to go ahead and jump in. We're going to kind of keep this stream pretty brief. We've talked for about an hour here, so a little less, but we're gonna go for it. So one moment. Let's see if I hit the right button. Look at that. We did indeed. So now you can see why I've called it a moment of reflection. We're going into the Mirror Temple. I'm going to just take the music down. Did you know most climbing mishaps occur due to exhaustion? Make sure to take regular breaks. Very nice. Oh man, look at this place. Feeling adventurous? Let me turn this down a little. I don't know. It looks pretty dark in there. I don't have a good female voice, so I'm just gonna give her a softer tone. More like a nightmare than an adventure. I'll just take a quick peek, snap a few photos. This place must be ancient. Theo, wait. And Theo's not gonna wait. My Instapix followers are gonna eat this up. There's no way this ends well. So I'm wondering if he's real. I don't know if he's real, because I know that my reflection is the negative. We can see I'm already getting reflected there. I know that the shadow is not. I'm wondering if all of these are the climbing of the mountain is all metaphorical. Okay, I'm wondering if it's all metaphorical. I'm wondering if the evil me is all of my doubts, insecurities, egotisms. I'm sorry, my egotisms, more or less. I wouldn't say even doubt and insecurity. I think it's the kind of finger being pointed at and calling me out. And then I wonder if, is it Ishiro? I wonder if Mr. Ishiro was my doubt and insecurity. And I wonder if Theo is my boundless pride. Okay, so these are the chains on which all of these move. Okay. Gotcha. One of the things that I do think is pretty interesting about this game is... Uh-oh. There's a mirror. Uh-oh. This is Theo's phone. Don't panic, Retro. Maybe it just fell out of his pocket. I'll give it back to him when I find him. Okay. Okay, so these red bubbles actually seem to... Oh, they don't. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Okay, so these just kind of go indefinitely until they hit a collision article of some sort. Okay. Okay, there's a lock there. This feels very, this particular part now here feels to me very Dead Cells-ish. Which I like quite a lot. Up. Ah. See if I can catch that other bubble. Okay, that needs to just go straight up. Okay, I get it. I think. I didn't make the jump. Let's see. Oh, I did. Oh, the crystal stays on it. Didn't realize that. Up. That was what I needed to do. So it's around, grab, hit the dash button, dash again, grab, and then try to jump over, and we get the strawberry. Okay, cool. And then, how do I... I think I have to go straight up and then over. So I have to go here, and then I have to hit the button at just the right time, which I'm not doing at all. What if I do it while I'm up? Yeah, up top there. It's very hard to do, though, for me. Okay. Okay, that worked well enough, I guess. It's definitely difficult. This is definitely it's a cool concept, but it is definitely not an easy one. And you can't just jump out of the bubble. I mean, you can, but you have to use the boost. Hey, Thumb, how are you doing? I hope you're doing wonderfully. I think I need to jump specifically at that. Yeah, there we go. It is very difficult to find that. Maybe I should hang on to the wall. I can't quite reach the wall. So it is a timing thing, but I'm not sure what the timing is. That was my fault. Kind of starting on my day, getting settled. Oh, no worries. I appreciate that you chose to come and say hi. That was... I appreciate it. I know that... I was going to say, I'm pretty sure this day would start. Doing some cleaning, we'll be here. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Perfectly okay. There we are. And there's the key. How do I... I believe it was here. Very neat. Oh, there's Theo. I don't think Theo is... I think Theo's on the other side of that mirror. There you are. Retro, hey, why are you inside of a mirror? Yeah, we're messed up here. Oh yeah, no, thank you for the conversation and yeah, just in general, it's always nice to get to talk and to catch up, but also, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I won't betray anything until you're ready, of course, but I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'm pretty sure you're the one in the mirror. I don't know what that says up top there. What happened? Well, I was taking a nonchalant mirror selfie. You know, it's your boy, Theo, and oh my goodness, he used the traditional it's your boy. I hate that. That is one of my least favorite YouTubeisms. There was a person that I really liked to watch. He was Card Critique. Yes, it was good. Oh, absolutely. That's the best part, is getting to catch up. But obviously, to pass the ideas is fantastic also. So no, it was a pleasure. What was it? Edward Todor, card magician reviewer, brilliant, wonderfully talented, but it was always started off with "It's your boy." No, I'm not your boy. I know that that's supposed to be this endearing, but I just don't like it. Oh. I love how self-aware this game is. This part right here, I love how self-aware. Hashtag blessed. Next thing I know, I wake up lying on the ground. What does it look like over there? How can I find you? It's really dark and weird. Wait, something's coming. I'm feeling a strange inclination to run away. Be careful, okay? Okay. Alright, I hope this isn't just for a strawberry. It is. That was my fault. I hit the button way too early. And they're too late. There we are. Very, very, this game definitely has, it just has some, there are things that I'm like, there is a compulsion in a lot of ways to, there's a compulsion in a lot of ways to do the challenges, because the challenges, one of the things I will say they've done incredibly well is the challenges are, they are challenging, right? Which makes perfect sense, but they are also, they feel, when you do them, like you just, if you missed it, it was just barely, or it was, you know, they feel like they are attainable. And that you just somehow missed it accidentally, or, you know. I'm trying to activate all the torches first here. Are these magical thises and that's, I'm sure. The game feels that is one thing again that I feel like is really hard to capture, is that when you're doing a challenge, a lot of times, it's Dark Souls, for example, sometimes the challenges can feel pretty insurmountable, and I think in this kind of way it does. Oops, I thought that was a platform. It doesn't feel oh, how do I do this? That's not gonna be. Okay, I think I understand. Nope, I don't. Ah, okay. I can just use that, though. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Let's do this. Okay. I missed. I have to jump down and hit the other side. The challenges don't feel insurmountable, and so because they don't feel insurmountable, you kind of consistently want to try again. It's like, one more. When the challenge feels just as if it's completely unfair, you're almost, disinclined. Like this one right here, as obviously I'm gonna have to figure out how to do it, and I think I know the answer, right? I think that's not it. I think the answer is jumping into this bubble to this bubble. And then that bubble needs to be guided to the strawberry. Whoops. It's very difficult to get the movement down for me. And then I need to jump straight across, I think. And that's very difficult. No, I can't jump straight across. Maybe I can allow myself to just grab onto the wall. I think that's what it is. And then I have to jump down in time, but that's exactly what it is. There we are. I wanted to activate the torches. So these are all these. Whoops. Huge props for playing through this. I appreciate it. I'm enjoying it. I just yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's difficult, and I don't mind difficulty. It's just and I also like the fact, I may do this in a second, but I also like the fact that it's I don't know. Is it because when you say huge problem? I guess I'm curious. There is it because is this a notoriously difficult game, or is it just, or is it because just people requested it and you enjoy the idea of my playing a request? Oh, nice thinking. Thank you. Let's do this for a second. That's not what I meant to do. There we go. I wanted to see what's over. Okay, there's nothing over there, but there could have been something. I think it's a. I think it's honestly. I think it's a pretty. Oh, that's gonna kill me. I didn't see the other thing there. There we are. Oh, that's exactly what that is, though. So I'm here. So I go here. Run to here, run to here. And then I dash, grab, dash. Ah. So that it'll throw me. I think I won't have the patience for falling over and over. I'm always happy to try another game. If ever for whatever reason it becomes not something that I like, then I stop. But okay, that's just wall. I just wanted to see. Boop. So I'm already grabbing it exhausted, so maybe I can just grab it and dash straight away. And then just jump when that happens? Maybe that's the idea. Let's try that. Yep, that's what it is. So now I have that one. And then I can just come up here. Oh, well, it'll spawn me where I need to go. That's fine. Strategic death. Like, there's little doubt in my head where I say, can I do this? And then I come close and I don't get that close again, and I find myself discouraged. It's one of those things where I like this too, because there's no pressure to do the strawberry challenges. I feel like it kind of works really well if like, for me, it's like... I'm so close, I'm so close, I'm so close. And then eventually it's like, okay, I'm going to try this one more time, and then I'm done, And I don't feel discouraged because the strawberry challenges aren't necessary. Which... okay, that's just death down there. I need to... Can I just jump out of this? No. Okay. So, like, for example, I can do that one. I'm going to kind of explore a little more. I think that's the same thing. But then if if I don't do a strawberry challenge, it's like, all right, well, it's not a big deal. They literally say the strawberry challenges are... Oh, that's where I just came from. They literally say the strawberries don't do anything. It's just kind of for accolade. So I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. I like that. There's no pressure. But if you have the strawberries, everybody knows that you basically did this really difficult, you did all of the difficult puzzles. I think that's cool. I think it's a good way to go. Okay, I have to determine, so we got to finish these. It looks like this is the correct direction. Okay, and then we have another locked. Anything up? No. So there's a key here somewhere? Wow, I'm behind a minute. Oh, no worries. Alright, so we need a key. Where? Okay, whatever the heck that thing is. Okay, so we've been here. We did that one. I don't think we have to do all of the... Oh, well, maybe. I don't think we have to do all of the strawberry challenges. To get... Because it says, that they're... I need to... There we are. There's the key. There's no climbing to get it, so it's going to have to be a red bubble for some... Okay, that's all right. I've lit the torch there, so that works. But I can't quite make that dash. Okay. Didn't realize what I was supposed to do there, but I lit the torch, so no worries. Is it behind a minute because of... Oops. Was it behind a minute because of... son of a gun. Was it behind a minute because of the way my chat's set up, or is it... Or was it just that your slider showed to be? Okay. Okay, that opens that. That gets me out there. And there's the key. Now I just have to remember where the bleeding door is. It's over here. Perfect. Yeah, I'm always up for a challenge. There are some challenges that are just too hard, certainly, and I just, you know, I'm like, oh, well, either I'm not having fun with it, or I want to practice offline a little bit so that I'm a little bit more... Uh-oh, I know what I need. That's what I needed to do, but I did it poorly. But it's like... I keep wanting to go for that other one. Okay, my timing on that was almost not good at all, but it ended up working out, so... Yeah, but like there are some of them where I don't think I've played any games where I've just outrightly given up. Oh yeah, I guess I have technically been like, oh, I want to work on this outside, which was that Super Mario game mod, which was really good, really fun, but it was just like, I want to work on this a little bit more outside of... I want to play this a little bit more outside of the... outside of the stream and see what I can accomplish. And I'm also cognizant of people. I'm also cognizant of people saying, you know, I don't want to watch a guy do this 500 times. I get that. I respect that. I just, you know, I'm going to do, if I'm having fun doing it 500 times, I'm still going to do it, but I can also respect if I'm not having fun just for the sake of finishing. That's not going to make sense. Okay, I bet here's another evil me. Yep, or something. Oh, I'm getting sucked into the mirror dimension. The little character, Madeline, she is adorable. I think she's a cute little character, and the little sprite's adorable too. Aw, tired. I guess, I don't know. We're in sepia filter. Oh my goodness sakes, this looks more like V's now. Oh, now we have those little things that have been statues. Now that we got them squiggly. Oh, I am the squiggly. Ah, it's not a bad thing. And it works similarly to me. So do I go catch myself? Okay, I can't go there. Okay. This is curious. I'm wondering if I'm trying to build a path for myself and I've done a bad job. Okay. So catching me killed me. And now the world is... Uh-oh. What is it? It looks like a little genie character. But it's also... No, it's my negative me. Hey, where are we? What did you do to Theo? You think I'm doing this? That's cute. Sweetheart, this is exactly what I warned you about. Don't try to make this my fault. You still don't get it. The mountain gave me this body, but I'm not the only creepy thing living in this messed up head of yours. So it is definitely an analogy for their struggles, their internal struggles. Don't like what you see? What a surprise. Shut up. And again, adorable character. I tried to stop you. Look into the mirror. All of this is yours. The temple only magnifies the mountain's powers. You're in control here, not me. So she's letting me know that this is my mind. I'm in control. I don't believe you. If you're part of me, why do you want to hurt me? Well, that's an interesting question. That's a great way to do that. If you're part of me, why would you want to hurt me? Why do people self-harm in general? Poor Retro, always the victim. All I do is babysit you, and you hate me for it. You're unraveling, and you know it. If you care so much about protecting me, why didn't you just explain what was going on? Like you would have listened? You never gave me a chance. That's true. Please, just... Oh, that was... She's starting to hyperventilate, too. The sprite's beginning to hyperventilate. But the little kind of pathetic, please just help me get out of here. Now you want me to save you? Say, why are you doing this? Just be on my side here. Please. Oh. Stop trying to make me feel like a monster. You really want to know why I won't help? Because you deserve this. Still think you can climb this mountain? Oh, now we're mad. Shut up. I don't need your help. I'll do this alone. Okay. Okay, that's a wall. Didn't realize. Okay. Ah. I need to not dash there. That's the other thing it plays really well on, is it plays on your want. It plays on your want to dash. Because you've gotten so acclimated to that being what saves you. And so then you're like, oh, I need to dash to fix this. Okay, so we have a chase kind of like Ishiro's chase. And we've learned that they break dirt blocks, or whatever these blocks are. They're also quite a lot faster and more tenacious. Okay, and sometimes they can't see you. There we are. They can't go through these either. We know that. Okay. See, I think that this element is interesting. I was going to try and jump on his head. Okay, that felt very much to me like, oh, here we go. If all of this is in my head, why is it so hostile? Those things are hunting me. I'm a trespasser in my own world. Theo, and you hear the little pathetic ones. Theo's trapped here because of me. If I give in fully, maybe the temple will let him go. If I give in fully. Breathe. This is all coming from inside of me. Get up, Retro. Think of the feather. You can save Theo. Okay. I don't guess that is anything. All right, that's good. So that we've now met with our resolve. Ah. I did that too sharply. I didn't mean to do that. Goodness. Okay. So now we have more of this temple to light. So in here we're kind of the reflection thing, which I think is I think it's a maybe I could be wrong, but I think that this is we're in the place where we are reflecting on what we are, and so we're kind of learning more about the little individual pieces and parts of us, such as our doubt and our loathing, our self-loathing, but also about our resolve and our strength. I think Theo is a part of us too. I don't think he's a separate thing. I think he might be our calm, right? Or maybe he's our sense of maybe he's our desire for approval. Okay, I can't make that jump. So there's got to be a bubble on the far end of this for some reason. Maybe he's our sense of calm and collected. And then maybe the dark one there is our sense of self-preservation, or even perhaps healthy doubt. Maybe she's our sense of doubting where it's appropriate to doubt. I'm kind of, that's why I'm thinking Ishiro. Oh, okay, thank God I found you. Retro, wow, am I happy to see you. He's always kind of very calm. Are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. See, he's just like, yeah. I've just been stuck in this crystal thing for ages. You get the feeling that this place knows you better than you know yourself? Yeah. I'm so embarrassed that you have to see this side of me. I tried to stop you. I hope that selfie was worth it. Selfies are always worth it. So it's kind of the maybe he's saying, again, he could just be a guy taking a picture and being a little bit too much, but maybe it's also, you know, maybe he's also talking about taking the moment to reflect on yourself, where you are in a moment. I don't know. Is it have the writers gone as deeply as I'm attempting to here? I don't know. Probably so. Probably deeper. I shouldn't be mad. This isn't your fault. There you go. Some self-awareness. I'm glad you're safe because you're trapped, but you're trapped here because of me. And now this temple is showing you what I'm really like. I'm horrible. Hey, we're in this together. Oh, see, look at that. Don't act like this is all on you. So he's not all. What do you mean? You didn't trap me in this crystal. Sure, those monsters are coming from you, but the temple is shaping itself around me too. I can feel it. These eyes are staring at me. And this crystal is coming from me. I know it. I hate to ask, but I really need your help right now. Okay. She's very defeated. I've got your back. Very sweet. I'll bust you on that thing and then we'll escape together. Just as soon as I find my way around to you. Retro, you're my only hope right now. I believe in you, for real. I hope that's not a mistake. So now I can... If the temple is showing me who I really am, then I deserve this, don't I? Alex? Alex, you have to stop being so hard on yourself. Who's Alex? Sorry, I meant Retro. But my comment still stands. No one deserves this, least of all you. I was like, who's Alex? Yeah, you're right. Okay, I can do this. Yeah, I like the character a lot. And then I killed her immediately. That wasn't intentional. Okay, so there's nothing down here. It's gonna be actually finding my way around. And the music's become very, like, resolute and very somber and... Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay, so there's that strawberry. But these I still can't get to. Okay. So I have to go down and around, it looks like. That's just a strawberry. I don't need that. Okay. Oh, but I did need that. Alright, hold on. There we go. So you can see it's actually playing on that Okay, hold on. This is... I feel like I need to... maybe it's just jump? It's just jump on there. Those eyes have their eyes on you. And I wonder what they represent too. It's very difficult to know. Okay, so let's do this. Aha, that is what it is. Okay, that's so hard to do. That's also difficult to do. Hitting the diagonal on this, I think, seems a little difficult for me. And yet, why am I here? So the diagonal goes the other way then. Then that's the way we'll go. And one key. Okay, I see what happens. So I need this. Okay, I get it. Yeah, those... I don't... Well, I know that this is obviously representative of reflection, right? Because it's a mirror. Self-reflection, introspection, those types of things. But I don't know... I don't know what all these other things represent. Is that what the eyes are? Is that my consistent reflection? My consistent introspection? Is it an overzealous introspection, maybe? I wonder. And again, I'm imagining the writers have gone far deeper than I have. Okay, I need him down here. So I can get over here. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. And he can't chase me over here. Okay, so we know how that works. That's good. How do I... I'm wondering if that's just for a strawberry. No, there's a key up there. And I get a strawberry for it. That's cool. Okay. Okay, that's back out there. I need him. Come on. One more time for me, please. Thank you. They're kind of adorable when... I think they are. I think they're kind of adorable when they, Oh. I didn't realize that's what I needed to do. Son of a gun. Dang it. Okay. Let's see. There we go. Look at that. And we got our key. Now this game, I mean, this game is definitely challenging, but it just isn't... It isn't ridiculous in the challenge. I mean, it's definitely a lot, but it's not... It's not ridiculous. Okay, so now we know that we have, I think, all of the blocks necessary to at least ride this bubble this way. Yeah. I didn't mean to. I was trying to dodge him. I gotta focus on my that's one thing I'm not used to, is the focus on the directionality. Ah, shoot. Ha 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 ha, that's what I needed. Oh, dang it, okay. I find games like this Kaizo Mario to be more on the... Yeah, the Kaizo or the what is it, Grand Poo World? That one? Yeah, those are ridiculous. I'm not as interested in those ones as I am something like this, or like again, a Dark Souls is fine. A Contra, oh, that's okay. It'll stop. Yeah, or a Contra's fine. Contras are fun. There's another mirror. I knew there was no way. Okay, there we are. You know, those kinds of games that have that Ninja Gaiden, right? And for some of the new ones even. Okay, so one of these is hiding the switch. Not that one. I was gonna see if I could get him. That's where the switch is, up there. There we are. Yeah, Ninja Gaiden. There's a checkpoint, I think. Oh, here we go. I found my way around to him. Theo, I finally found you. Yay. I knew you'd make it. It wasn't easy. And these monsters really coming from inside of me? Retro, that's a valid question. I'll be happy to discuss how the monsters relate to your inner self, but right now my inner self is real sick of being stuck in this crystal. Oh, right. Don't worry, I'll break you out. Well, this is a solid start, but crystal is like an expression of my negative psychic energy or whatever. Yeah, but how do we break it? If I knew why I'd trapped myself in this thing, maybe I could bust out. But I don't. And I don't think I can get to the bottom of it while we're stuck in this nightmare dimension. I hate to say it, but you might have to. Theo, don't even think about that. I am not leaving you behind. You better not leave me in this place. I was gonna say you might have to carry me. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I can do that. Dang, girl, you can lift. Alright, you got this. Can I use him to... Wait. Crushing it. That door didn't stand a chance. I was gonna say, what happens if I throw him at them? Nothing. Later, nerd. Another one? Come on. So, I'm gonna see if I gotta get rid of him, basically, quickly. Ah, dang it. Okay, that was... There. Since you can jump on their head, they don't stay. They don't stay down for a very long time. Ah, I didn't see those crystals there. They don't stay down for a very long time, but this is the other thing. I like how innovative they've gotten with all of the puzzles. We've got these little octopode things coming at us, and then we also have things like that. So I'm having to solve them as them being a platform as much as I can. I can. Yeah, I'm helping. I like how he says that. Just very cocksure of himself. It is there is a tricky piece about them too. It's very difficult to see what it is on their like their hitbox, understanding where their hitbox is, because the back of them doesn't do anything to you. The top of them does sometimes, and the teeth always do. So it's kind of a little difficult to know exactly where. Okay. So, and they do home in on you quite well, actually. Oh, well, case in point, I suppose. Use that for a second so that I can do this. Run over here, use that, throw him across. There we are. Jump over here, don't need the strawberry. Theo saves the day again. Very nice. So he can go, we know he can go through crystals, that's good. Ah, okay. I didn't see, I wasn't paying enough attention. That other one is perfectly lined up for taking me out, so let's do this. Like that, take that out. And we can use that one to do that. Okay. Beautifully done, if I do say so myself. Ah, that was terribly done, if I say so equally. Let's do this. Jump here, jump here. Ah. I knew I wasn't going to be able to get the dash out in time. Oh, you can't dash while holding him. Also, so that's part of the puzzle. Okay, and if he dies, I can't either. So, like in this case, I have to let go, dash. See, and then I can. Oh, but that throws him back. Oh. So I need to let go, dash. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I need to let go, dash. Let's try again. Let go. Okay, and then I need to not dash so that I don't throw him back off over at me. Okay, that's kind of cool. We have to be close. I can feel it. We have to be, I would think. Okay, I can't throw him high enough for that, so I'm going to use him to block the... Okay, this one's going to be tough. It's definitely tough with this guy chasing me. Okay. Okay. Oh, see, he spawned and the spring didn't. He was where the spring is, and so he didn't actually let the spring do its thing. Oh, okay. So he needs to go over for me to... there's no way to permanently get rid of these guys, but he needs to go over for me to be able to... I dashed at the same time habitually. Again, whoever designed the game is oh, see, that wasn't... Whoever designed the game was anticipating on habitual dashes, absolutely, which is brilliant. So getting him on the spring seems to be the move. Oh. And then the other thing is that the throw button is just the releasing of the trigger. And because that's the case, it is almost... Whoa. That a lot of... Or it is a lot of the times the case that I'm hitting X to throw. And you can't... Again, you can't dash and throw him at the same time. So it's very difficult to kind of coordinate those two movements. For me, it is. It may not be for others. Okay, I actually got to use him just there like that. Now I can go like this. Oh, let's see, that was almost the end. I just didn't hit the switch. But oh, so now we know what kind of the end looks like. Okay, we're going to use that time to get him off of our tail. Okay. I didn't mean to do that. Ah, son of a gun. Okay. See, they home up to you, so if you jump preliminarily, they will... There we are. Okay, I might actually be able to shortcut this like that.
See, and it's very difficult to figure out whether I'm going to hit him on the head or whether or not I'm going to touch his teeth. If you touch his teeth, it's automatically over. But his head kind of comes up. See right there, I kind of touched the teeth, but it still didn't count. He pushed me into the... So the hitboxes are being very gracious right now. Nope, not there. That's... I got a little too... This is definitely... more challenging than the hotel. That explosion also is what pushed me back. So when he comes back to life, he creates a small explosion that pushes you back. I wonder if that could be used, but I don't know that I have anywhere near the timing and the dexterity to do that yet. Okay. So I might actually... Yes! Okay, there we go. Good lord. Okay, there's this... That ripple's pushing me back. Okay. And I shattered it, maybe with the self-reflection, I don't know. That's adorable. She's just like, determined! And he's still got his phone in his hand. I guess we handed it back to him immediately after we got out. He passed out, but he couldn't be bothered. And we didn't get very many strawberries that one. We got 7. And we died. I know we died a lot. Oh, we actually didn't die nearly as much as I thought we did. And now here we are. So we've actually look at what we've done. This is where we started. So here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that was prologue. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're 6, which is called Reflection, which is ironic because I thought that's what we just got out of. I think that's what I'm going to call. I think we finished a chapter. That's pretty good. We've been streaming now for about 2 hours. Had a little bit of time for a conversation ahead of time. I got to stream, got to pass a chapter. Had a lot of fun doing it. And again, I think this game only has like 8 or 9 chapters, so we're getting pretty close to... We're starting to get... We're past the halfway point at very least. And at very most, we're getting close to the end. Only 3 or 4 more of these episodes to go, depending. So we'll see what happens, but... I do want to say thank you very much for popping in, saying hi, being with me, be it in spirit or in conversation. A huge thank you to Ash and to Thumb and to Fighting Max. Ash, I do certainly hope that you get to feeling much better. I hope that you are well rested and that you feel much better more quickly, sooner rather than later. And... Fighting Max, of course, is doing an event right now. He said it is a collaboration, so there might be some more vulgarity in terms of the jokes and tones. But otherwise, he should be doing Phoenix Wright, having some fun. And then, of course, thank you so much, Thumb, for your GGs and all of the conversations, support, the puns. If anybody wants to see something really, really cool, go take a look at Thumb's Twitch stream. It's down below, where he did his week to learn Sunset Riders run. Again, very, very fun to watch. Sunset Riders is a fun game, but when you have somebody who's literally just had a week to learn it, and run it, very, very awesome just to see that done and to see that culminated in the results. So please do take a look there. If there's anyone that I've missed, of course, Omega Ace Gaming, who had played, I think, Rockman and Bass, or one of the Mega Mans recently. He was playing that last night. I cannot remember which because there's so many Mega Mans, but it's down below also. And I would highly recommend taking a look at any of the channels that I have just down there for your own, if I'm not doing something that happens to be your speed or you're interested, I highly recommend it. But I hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your, let's move it over, I guess. Not meant to self-promote, but I plan on using Restream more when I can. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's understandable. Yeah, that's perfect. So yeah, let me know if there's a specific link you need me to change or update. I've got your Twitch and your YouTube links down there, but if there's something I'm not sharing that you need me to, or that you need me to make changes to, please do let me know, and I'll make those changes for you. Because we obviously, we want to show things that are fun and that are cool and that build the sense of community. And I think that few things do it better than the people that I've currently chosen to promote. But yeah, I highly recommend taking a look down below. We've got Thumbros on Twitch and on YouTube. We've got Ash for his new and upcoming stuff. We've got Fighting Max more recently, and again, disclaimer, he says currently a collab, maybe a little bit more vulgar in the language, but generally very fun to help kind of work and solve puzzles with him. Of course, the Siren Ivy, my wonderful wife, who plays all kinds of games recently. She's been playing Inzoi, Red Dead Redemption 2, Batman, I think, in some instances, and there are several of the story games that we've been kind of going down the line on, or that she's been going down the line on. I haven't really done much. I highly recommend checking all of that out. It's definitely worth the watch, worth your time. And of course, Omega Ace Gaming, who does his streams. He's Saturday night streams. I think he does some on Tuesdays as well. Take a look at all of those. They're a lot of fun. A great community of great people doing all kinds of different things, from speedrunning and learning speedrunning to just casually playing through games to whatever it is exactly that I'm doing. It's all a lot of fun. But I hope you guys all will have a wonderful rest of your weekend, a fantastic start to your week, and thank you for joining me again. We'll see you next time.